In this video, we're going to take a look at the most expensive gun I've ever built, which at the base is the ARX Lightfighter upgraded with some of my favorite parts and accessories. Also, make sure you check out the kit page to enter the giveaway I'm hosting, where X2 is gifting one of their premium barrels of your choice to the winner. I was super happy they wanted to do a giveaway, so make sure you don't miss it. Along with that, the best way to support the channel is by becoming a member of the kit page, where I provide discount codes and organize all of the links to everything I talk about on the channel, including an exclusive discount code to this base rifle, which alone will save you hundreds of dollars. Becoming a member of the kit page is also your ticket into the giveaway, so check out the ARX page for more info on that. Super quick, make sure you're signed up for this month's range day on the 26th. Details are linked below. Huge thank you to the sponsors of the channel, TA Targets. I use and absolutely love their targets and stands. They are incredibly well made. And of course, Optics Planet. Pretty much every accessory you see me use, you can find. Use code GMEN at checkout or use the better code on the kit page. Full disclosure, I've worked closely with X2 Dev Group in the past and I still work with them today. I personally know the owner and have a good relationship with them. I originally wanted to review their ARX because it was the first AR I had seen in a long time that was actually innovating and changing the way things were done in a really aesthetic, intelligent, strategic, and innovative way, which I'll go in depth on some of those things in this video. The AR was sent to me for this review for free, but I can honestly say I would have bought it anyway. Getting it for free though allowed me to review it on a quicker timeline and get you this info so you can make a better purchasing decision for yourself. No contracts involved, no money exchanged. I am offering, as always, my honest opinions in this review. I do also want to say that if you want a full breakdown of the base rifle, I have one up on my channel. I posted a while ago, so feel free to check that out. For this video, I'm just going to go into the build like I always do, covering the highlights and my favorite parts. So jumping right in, starting with the base, again is the ARX Lightfighter from X2 Dev Group. And where I could make a very long video going over every feature this thing has to offer, rather I'm going to cover some of my favorite things about it and go from there. Starting with their barrel, which I have a video out on already going over some of the specs, but I do want to re-highlight it because it's absolutely insane what they've made. Essentially, it's an extremely light, rigid, and incredibly accurate barrel. I have been nothing but impressed with these, and I genuinely don't think there's a comparable option on the market right now. So all I can say about this is fantastic job, X2. You guys are legendary. Again, if you're curious and want more info on the barrels, go check out the video I already posted on them. Moving on, their Ambi controls are really well designed, using feedback from Tier 1 Special Force operators and other cool military guys. They designed it to be user capable with a single hand without the need to break your grip, and overall it's really intuitive and well made. It is a full Ambi lower, which means yes, it is lefty compatible. The one drawback that I've noticed is you won't be able to run drop-in triggers with metal housing without modifying them first. Because of the inside of the receiver, there's a ridge where the Ambi control sits, and on most other lower receivers that's just flat, so be aware of that. But you will still be able to run triggers that don't come in a metal housing. For example, something like this Geisley is good to go. A Trigger Tech, on the other hand, will need to have the corner cut out of it to match the design of the lower. Overall though, the trigger that comes with the rifle is really good. It's from Rise Armament, so it's not really a necessary switch out anyway. It's got a clean break and a pretty good reset. Are there triggers out there that I personally like more? Yes, of course, but honestly not enough to justify spending the money on what's basically a side grade for a different one. Moving on, I've talked extensively about their charging handles. I love them and run them on a ton of my other builds. Huge fan. I also love their flared magwell design that is clean and aesthetic. Not only the magwell, but the entire lower is just so comfortable to hold due to the design and the machining they chose, and overall the way it flows is just so creative and just so well done. So besides all of those things, probably one of my favorite parts about it, which became way more important to me when I started building my own guns, was how the upper and the handguard integrate together. It's absolutely genius. So the upper receiver is unique because the handguard doesn't tighten down onto the barrel nut directly. It actually screws into the upper receiver, which is probably one of the biggest benefits of this design. Normally you're torquing the handguard onto the barrel nut, and the barrel nut of course is in contact with the barrel, which is changing your barrel harmonics. And in many designs it can cause quite a bit of point of impact shift. So part of what makes this AR so accurate, besides the barrel, is they took a deep dive to create a new design that allows for near perfect barrel harmonics, which I think is really cool. Not only that, but like I was saying before, you're only dealing with 2 1/4-inch QD sockets. So when you need to take the handguard off, you just use the 1/4-inch hex to remove the 2 QD sockets, and the handguard just slides right off. Then when you're putting it back together, because of the 4 tabs that index, which make it nearly impossible to rotate the handguard under harsh use, which maintains extreme structural rigidity, everything slides back on and you're aligned and good to go. These are things I've never seen done this well before on an AR platform, which is why I believe X2 is the future. Not only is this rifle structurally incredibly strong, and I mean they thought of literally everything to ensure that nothing could get torqued out, they took a deep dive into every single piece of the AR and made an improvement in almost every single way. The design and patents on this thing is absolutely wild. So moving on, those are some of my favorite features of the base rifle, but onto why this is the most expensive rifle in my collection: the accessories. Altogether, if you were to get this thing as it is right now without the help of the kit page, you'd be spending somewhere in the ballpark of $13,000. With the kit page, a lot less, but still a lot. So yeah, it's pretty stupid how expensive it is, but kind of the epitome of buy once, cry once. Starting with the can I was running, this is a 30 cal titanium can that comes from a company called Anechoic. They reached out to me to see if I wanted to test out some of their cans, and I was pleasantly surprised with their lineup. Their cans are fully user serviceable, which is cool, and I was even able to thread on a Silencer Co. Bravo ASR mount, which allows me to run it on basically everything that I run Silencer Co. muzzle devices on, which is basically all of my builds. They do come ready for direct thread, but I really prefer quick detach, so I love that this was a feature. Even with it being a 30 cal can, it was very quiet and did a really good job of mitigating muzzle flash, all while not having terrible back pressure. It's definitely not a flow through super low back pressure can, but it does a really good job of pushing the gas out instead of in your face. Overall, huge fan of Anechoic so far, and I plan on doing a more extensive review of their products in the future. But Anechoic, I really like where you're headed, your stuff is good. The light is my typical setup, which is the Cloud Rain 3 on a T-Rex Arms mount, only this one has a 100 Concepts kill flash to make sure I'm not giving away my position unintentionally. Huge fan of 100 Concepts, they're super awesome guys and they make great products. The bipod setup is the Warren Skyline Arca Light attached to a Sylvan Arms Picatinny to M-Lock adapter, and I did it like this because I wanted it to be modular for weight saving purposes. In the past I've been running Magpul bipods, which I'm still a fan of, but because I knew I was going to load this rifle up, I wanted to make sure I could tear it down to make it as light as possible if I wanted. So when I need to run the bipod, I can throw it on or take it off in an instant. This setup also allows me to run the bipod on any other build I want without using any tools, which saves a lot of time and is the best solution to the weight issue I've found so far. Huge fan of it. Also, the Warren bipod is absolutely incredible. Definitely can recommend. Moving on, we are running a basic BCM foregrip that just allows me to get a nice C-clamp on the rifle, and under it is a Wiseman Company Hot Pocket rail cover. Huge fan of these, mitigates quite a bit of the heat off the handguard when shooting. The thermal you've seen before, this is my flip mounted Sting IR-640 from AGM. I still think it's one of the best options out there to add thermal capabilities to your AR. Huge fan of this thing, and it's wrapped in multicam from LARP Wraps. The optic I went with is the Vortex Razor HD Gen 3 1-10, which I had heard really good things about and can confirm for the most part this thing is really nice. I will say when you're punched into 10 power, the eye relief isn't really as good as my Night Force Attacker, and if I had to compare the two, I would say the Night Force is a little more clear at its highest power, but it's very close. Big fan of the Vortex overall. I have it mounted on a Scalar Works mount, which has been my absolute favorite scope mount for a long time, with a Trijicon RMR offset red dot, which I would say unless I'm shooting over 100 yards, I'm running the offset dot. It's mounted with a Scalar Works kick, and it integrates super well with the setup. It's so easy to use, I'm a huge fan. On both the Razor and the RMR, I'm running 100 Concepts Kill Flash spray painted flat dark earth, and again, I only have good things to say about these. Absolutely fantastic quality and design. I did switch out the grip, safety selector, and stock to all of my favorites, which is the K2 Plus grip from Magpul. This thing thing has never let me down. Comfortable, well made, can always recommend. Then we have the Radiant Talon safety selector, which is fantastic. And then we have the B5 enhanced SOP mod stock, which I only have good things to say about these. On the other side here, we have some G10 rail scales, which help with the grip and the heat. And on all the PMags I'm running with this rig, I switched the base plates to train with purpose plates, which both look good and add some grip and texture. The last upgrade is the sling from Blue Force Gear, and I've been running these slings for a long time with zero complaints. They are awesome. So that's the build. I personally think you'd be really happy with just the base ARX Lightfighter and a solid LPVO, saving you about $9 grand. But if you can afford it in this configuration, it's one of the smoothest, most well-balanced and tuned AR-15 you'll probably ever shoot in your life, and I couldn't recommend it enough. I did also want to show you a little bit of the range footage I got when I was shooting at a distance of 100, 400, and a little over 600 yards, and I always want to make sure I disclose that this gun far outmatches my ability to shoot, but I was still able to hit pretty well even out to 600 as a beginner in long range with no prior instruction. I really don't shoot past 100 yards often. It's something I'm getting more into now, but since recording this footage, this will only be the second time I've shot past 400 yards, and I think I did a pretty good job, especially for it being a pretty windy day. So there you have it. I do have intentions to take this way further than 600 yards, so I'll make an update when I do that, but for now, I'll be training to hit consistently within that range. Speaking of training, I hope you're getting to the range so you can be better prepared to defend innocent life. I can't stress enough how important it is to train. The truth is, without training, these tools won't do you very much good. In fact, they may even get in the way of you protecting others if you don't use them right. So please do your best to get better. Don't forget to enter the giveaway. Many more builds coming to the channel. I'll see you in the next one.